Hillman and Leader. Crawford on Fisher, Pinder on Borner as they've been all the way. And Borner
on Davis
earns himself a couple from the free throw line.
Steve Davis, you'll watch him come into your screener, gets up early, and you can see on the back of the hand of the wrist of Ray Borner, started on the ball, but as Borner kept the power on the ball, he slipped down, got him on the back of the hand, then slipped off the wrist. Ray Borner played a big role in this quarter, 6 points, now 7 in this quarter, 13 for the game.
So his performance continues to grow as Grace makes some space for himself right down the centre, went down the corridor, off Pinder, but then again off Leader or Graham, and it's a Perth ball.
Smacked right down to Tiny Pinder's head, smacked right on it. You hear the voice of referee Eddie Crouch. There's a good spike in the volleyball crowd. 7 minutes and 59 seconds remaining to play in the game. 3 points of difference, North Melbourne leading. Davis now with the ball. North Melbourne lining up in their man-to-man. Hillman dogging Grace, inside Pinder, lovely backdoor move to Ellis, tremendous pass from Tiny Pinder, and we've got Perth now 1 point in arrears.
Ellis to 17. Fisher, top of the key, not this time, hasn't scored a lot of points in this second half. That one won't go in. Leader very strong, still won't go in. This is important now for Perth with Grace, who has this acceleration. Pinder gets himself into a position inside the key. Ellis, they throw it around to Crawford, who's been pretty disappointing from this position throughout the match. Misses that. Borner strong. Hillman now sets it up for North Melbourne. Will he charge? No. Decides to hang on, and that is a North Melbourne ball off Ellis.
Pushed out of bound by Mike Ellis. A real opportunity for Perth that time. Not only would they take the lead, but psychologically that would have certainly given them a big boost. North Melbourne still has the task stretching out this lead. Fisher inside, dishes to Borner. He's bodied up, stays with it, misses 2-point blankers under a lot of physical pressure. Looks at the referee, Jeff Weeks, in bemusement, but plays on. So now Perth with a chance to grab the lead. 6 minutes and 45 seconds remaining to play. 1 point the difference. Grace Pinder from the foul line. So he tucked it in. Pinder with 26. High score for the Wildcats, and the Wildcats have taken a 1-point lead.
Hillman, this is for 2 points, yes. So Hillman to 21. He's a great pressure shooter, either from way out in the 2-point zone or the 3-point zone, Hillman, and he's made that to give North Melbourne a 1-point lead.
He's also a big-time shooter. When the pressure's on, Hillman's accuracy level goes up. Grace now with the ball. Ellis, screen set for him. Inside to Grace, returns on his left hand, pushes it too hard, gets the ball back on his left hand, that's short. Pinder battling it out. Gold shirts will come out with the ball. White shirts, gold shirts, what enthusiasm. Grace misses the three. Davis inside and is fouled. Unbelievable series of play. I don't know if we have that on replay. Somebody's on the floor. It's Mark Leader. We see a bit of blood there. I think that he's headbutted the floor.
See quite a bit of blood. It was interesting refereeing. It just went on and on and on. And as the excitement built and built and built, and the ball got harder and harder to get.
It just looked like 3 or 4 times there were 3 gold shirts around the ball. I think I called that they were going to get it out of there. We're seeing the end of here. You can see that's Leader spilling on the floor there. It's landed hard, but that ball was loose and rolling around there for, it must have been about 10 seconds. And Mark Leader is not feeling good at all. That's Leader number 4, jumps at the ball, comes in. Oh, you can see him landing on the side of his head as he dove at that ball, and obviously has opened a wound on the right side of his face. North Melbourne leading by 1. In the excitement, I'm not sure whether a foul was called or whether it was just pushed out of bounds. Pretty sure that the foul was called to Crawford. Davis will go to the line to shoot 1-on-1.
Yeah, I got the shot.
So Steve Davis is thwarting foul shots. 5 minutes and 48 seconds remaining to be played in the game. Leaders out, been taken into the locker room.
We got 1-on-1.
Must need a stitch or two.
1-on-1.
And Steve Davis, big foul shots. A lot of pressure here. Perth trails by a point, and he evens up the game. That was a good sub to get Davis back in.
1 to go.
So 93 apiece. Perth in front, 94-93, with leader off for North Melbourne and very unlikely to come back. So pressure here with Hillman.
Dwayne Nelson having come in. Carroll, pretty handy that you can get a 280-game veteran into the game at this stage. Hillman working to get free of David Close. Close has rested a lot as he's had 4 fouls. Nelson tries to go in. He's double-teamed. 10-second warning buzzer went. Carroll doesn't go. Fisher can't get it out. Pinder strong around the basket. Perth with a chance to give themselves some space. Grace worked on Skinderis. Help wasn't rotating. Perth now leading by 3. Skinderis loses the ball.
And
Pinder
Pinder's hurt
sprained an
himself.
ankle. That was a great shot from Ricky Grace. He took the ball coming over half court, pounded around, forced Skinderis out of position and went towards the baseline and put it off the backboard. North Melbourne trying to recover through quick transition, pushed the ball ahead of Ricky Skinderis, and Skinderis couldn't handle it. That's a couple of big thumps that Tiny Pinder's had in this game. He's been so strong around the basket, the defensive board, that of course they won't like taking him out. They may have to. In fact, we see Jeff Allen coming into the game. 3 points the difference. Perth leading 96-93. 4 minutes and 58 seconds remaining to play.
So the champions are looking down the barrel. The team that won the championship in 1989 are 3 points behind with less than 5 minutes remaining in this now knockout semi-final. Grace, who has split North apart a couple of times. Oh, the turnover, Allen, but
Ricky Grace picking up that foul. It's his 5th. Ray Borner credit that he came out and monstered Jeff Allen, got the ball loose. Wayne Carroll alert to it, picked it up, was breaking away, and Ricky Grace had the foul and trying to get the ball.
a la Derek Rucker last night, about the same time in the game.
There you see Allen losing control of the ball. Carroll on the inside. Grace. We can see referee Eddie Crouch in the shot, claiming that Grace got Wayne Carroll on the arm as he was trying to dribble out of that and down the court. Ricky Grace calling him in, wishing him luck. Referees have a hard time getting him off the floor. He doesn't want to leave, and who can blame him? 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining to play in this cutthroat semifinal, and Perth has a 3-point lead, but North Melbourne has the ball.
Well, Tiny Pinder's made a remarkable recovery because he's back on the court. We'll see how effective he is. So the situation, it's 96-93, 4 minutes 40 seconds remaining.
Blocking foul called on James Crawford. Not much contact there from our angle. Fisher spilling down the baseline, chesting him up, moving with him. Could have been a no call, perhaps.
Carroll. Will this be Wayne Carroll's last game?
Steve Davis came off his foot intentionally as he tried to block the bounce pass inside to Fisher, so they'll get a new 30-second clock.
David Graham. And Wayne Carroll with Joe Hillman. Well, his shooting's going to be vital in the last 4 minutes. As Bill said, he's a great pressure shooter, and the Giants will need something here. You get the feeling that if they can't score quickly, and Hillman, that one misses. Fisher, strong rebounder, gets himself in a good position, won't go in though. Again, Fisher, yes, makes that.
Boy, that is strength. He busted himself into a shooting position and hung in there. 1 point the difference, 4 minutes to go.
Well, you couldn't have staged one better. It's going to come right down to the wire. A cool head will be necessary in these last 3 3/4 minutes. Has Crawford got it as he has over the years? And that's against Carroll and North Melbourne.
And it'll be a shooting foul to Crawford. That is the way that Wayne Carroll guards James Crawford right through the years. Reaching for the ball as it comes up from that angle. It looked like all ball. Nevertheless, Crawford going to the line, shooting 2 foul shots.
So Perth stretch it to 2.
Al Bruton pacing the sidelines. Pretty hard for coaches to sit in this situation.
And now 3 points, so Crawford to 14, most of them from the free throw line in this match. So North Melbourne with their big playmakers, Hillman and Fisher, sharing the ball for the moment. Graham, who also can shoot 3-pointers. They may need those. Hillman, yes, does it again. What a wonderful player he is. 23, but Perth lead by a point, 98-97.
Plenty of Fisher on that one. Ellis now. David Graham trying to get the referees to call a double dribble or something. He needs to pay attention. They're going to Crawford. He misses that one. Bounces out to Carroll. North Melbourne now with a chance to wrest back the lead. Fisher, 3-point line, goes to the basket. Pinder bodies up, but Fisher gets through it. And North Melbourne back in the lead, 99-98. We've got 3 minutes to go.
Well, so often it's been Fisher and Hillman over this year that has done the damage and been the steady influence. Now, David Graham.
Pushing off on the dribbler, Mike Ellis. So Ellis will go to the line to shoot one-on-ones. Really, that was the time to be a little bit conservative. And that comes in just after the contact was made. And we have a timeout here at the Glass House. 2 minutes and 56 seconds remaining to play. North Melbourne leads by 1, 99 over the Perth Wildcats, 98.
The limited edition 1.8 litre Nissan Pulsar Reebok. With $2.5 grand worth of extra value at no extra cost, you'd better run for it, or you'll miss out.
It's a Nissan, that's my car.
The Hardy Pope Australian-made watering system. It's so easy to install, so simple to use that anyone can do it. Hardy Pope Home Watering Systems. Child's play for not much more than pocket money. When it's Hardy Pope, it's Hardy.
This is Neville. His Monaro is the hottest. Right, Neville? 11 coats of paint, dragway mags, sports steering wheel, Holly Carby. Nipped into Natrad, Neville? You forgot to check the radiator. You forgot to nip into Natrad. With over 70 locations throughout Australia, there's one near you.
So before your radiator blows and you lose your cool, nip into Natrad, nip into Natrad, nip into Natrad.
1 point ball game. Perth in a shooting position. Mark Leader's come back onto the court. Might, when he turns around, we'll see.
He's got a big patch over his eye.
Sure has. It looked to be quite a bit of blood in that incident 3 or 4 minutes ago. Completely accidental.
We might reset the scene here. David Graham and Mike Ellis coming up the floor. Ellis with the one-on-one. Makes the first one. You wouldn't expect anything else of this tremendous leader out there for the Perth Wildcats, Michael Ellis. He's got 18 in the game. Scores are tied, 99 apiece. Scores are no longer tied. Perth leads by 1.
With 2 minutes 53 on the clock. Fisher and Hillman. I think we're going to say those two names a bit in the last 2 3/4 minutes, because if North is to win here, they're going to rely on their 2 American stars. Fisher at the top of the key. Will this be 2? Wouldn't go in. Borna very strong but late. Close. A very good drive by Fisher to Carroll. 3 points for Hillman. Won't go in, and Pinder very strong. So this is important here for Perth.
A huge rebound to Tiny Pinder that time. Joe Hillman stepped back behind the 3-point line. 1 point the difference. Plenty of time, of course. 6 minutes and 15 seconds. But Perth has the ascendancy. A score here would be big. Davis now guarded by Carroll. 10-second warning buzzer. Ellis will look to probe. Gets by Graham. Borner picks him up. Tries to dish to Crawford. Crawford has it blocked from behind. Pinder steps out of bounds. North Melbourne will get it back. 1 minute and 57 seconds remaining to play. North Melbourne 1 point down. Oh, gee. Who'd be a coach the players don't feel these nerves quite as much because they've got the satisfaction of physically doing something. The coaches feel the blood pressure go up.
North Melbourne with this most experienced lineup possible out there. They've got all the players that have been there in the past. Now their rookie Hillman, who's played so much ball in the States. Carroll, Borner, Pinder very good against him. Against Davis though.
Steve Davis acknowledges that foul. It was a very strong move by Ray Borner. Stepped one side, got a paratroopers up in the air. You can see Davis hit him on the back of the neck. Ray Borner, fairly good foul shooter.
There you go.
Well, that ring starts getting a long way away at this time in the game. Elbow gets a little bit stiff. Ray Borner missed the first one. This next one will be the only tie up the game with a minute 34 to play. High ball game, 100 apiece.
As Mark Reeder looks on. So 1.5 minutes left for one of these teams in 1990. Which one? Is it Perth or will it be North Melbourne? Ellis, the captain. 17 seconds, 15 seconds remaining for Perth to make something out of this play. And a minute 15 remaining. So the time is becoming very important. Crawford, not this time. Pinder, great
inside,
rebound.
misses it. Crawford gets it back. Fisher rips it out of his arm. And he's fouled. Very tough plays around the basket that time. Tiny Pinder ripped down the offensive rebound. Missed the point blanker, bounced out to Crawford. Crawford had the ball around knee level, and Fisher went down like a submarine to hop on it and rip it out. We've got a timeout here. Calbrook wondering what went on down there. 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining to play. Scores are tied 100 points apiece. And both teams in the penalty situation, so Scott Fisher will come down and shoot 1 and 1. And he's a very good foul shooter, Bruce.
All right.
Let's hear if we can see. Let's see. Here if we can see what Bruce Palmer's talking about. Here if we can see. Heavens.
I know exactly.
They got me going.
So here's what I want to do offensively. We want to run a 2-guard weak into inside motion. Got it? 2-guard weak inside motion. Got it? All right. So if you enter for Wayne, all right, and as it turns out, these two guys can be involved in the 2-man game. Okay? We're down here. I'm going to make them no 3-pointers. They get it inside. Don't let them score it. You gotta earn it. Help them deliver. That's an intentional.
Scott Fisher, a veteran of the finals, of course, adding a little bit of advice. And you can't give too much information at a time like this, Bruce, because the adrenaline's flowing. We'll see a replay now of that Pinder foul. There's this scramble underneath the basket. There's Crawford with the ball. Watch Fisher, 2 hands on top of the ball, rips it out, picks it up. There's Pinder. We can't see from the angle, but he got into the side of Scott Fisher. Fisher now with a 1-on-1. 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining to play. Scores are tied. If he makes the first one, he gets a second. He talks to it. Oh, I was going to say it dead stick that front ring. Had 2 ways to go, over the ring or under the ring, and it went over. 25 to Fisher. North Melbourne now lead by 2. Onus is on Perth. No threes. We heard in the huddle they don't want to give them any 3-pointers. 56 seconds remaining to play. A turnover here would be a disaster for the Wildcats. Helping out Ellis probing. Action away from the ball. There goes Ellis down the baseline and a foul called. So Mike Ellis gets a chance to even up the score from the foul line. 1-on-1 back to Captain Courageous.
Well, just like Fisher for North Melbourne, you wouldn't ask for a better player for Perth to take the 1-on-1.
You can see Scott Fisher just riding on the side of Ellis's arm.
So same deal as Fisher. First one misses. Well, this could be costly. 42 seconds remaining. So North Melbourne can eat up everything but about 15 seconds here. So if they make a 3-pointer, they're going to win. They make a two-pointer, they're going to be in an almost impenetrable situation. Now Hillman with the ball at the top of the key.
Very important players keep moving to the ball. David Graham didn't want to take the shot at that stage. Why wouldn't they want to take as many seconds off the clock as possible? So Perth has a chance. A three-pointer will put them in front. 15 seconds. Ellis to the basket. He scores. We've got a tie ball game again. 10 seconds to go. North Melbourne slow in bringing the ball up. Hillman's a danger man. Needs some penetration. Fisher with a long three. It misses. Pinder inside. No fouls. We're going to have an overtime. So Mike Ellis made amends for missing that one-on-one foul shot situation with the drive to the basket. And we've got 5 more minutes of play.
Gee, David Graham almost panicked, didn't he? He had, what, 10 more seconds, you reckon?
You've got to question that shot. You simply have to question that shot. Run around. The chance are that Perth might panic, might pick up a foul. No matter what you want to do, you want to leave a minimum amount of time, I would think, for Perth to get a score at the other end. As it was, they ended up scoring, and there was still 13 seconds left on the clock. But nevertheless, David Graham, many times we've seen him nail those shots. He would have been a hero if he did. But instead, well, the fans will enjoy another 5 minutes of play here.
Well, I'm not sure if enjoy's the word, Bill. It's pretty tight and tense, no matter who you're supporting. And it's just like last night with Eastside and Brisbane. A spectacular finish there. And it's set up again here.
Let's listen in on Bruce Palmer. Oh, there's a distraught Giants fan. She looks like she's worked as hard as the players. Now let's go over to Cal Bruton.
You're playing square, okay? Let's look, JC. Let's see if we can get downstairs and go at it, okay? Go at it and draw the ball. Take the ball,
PA is slightly drowning out Cal Bruton. Presumably his troops can hear him.
Bill Fisher with 4 fouls, Reedy 4, Graham 4, Leader 4, all for the Giants, and for Perth 4 fouls for Allen and Davis, but the Fisher 4 fouls is really vital here. He can't afford an early foul.
No, because in the way that Scott Fisher plays, of course, he's got to go inside and establish a physical presence, particularly in the rebounding area, where Tiny Pinder is his counterpart, although they probably won't guard each other. If Fisher were to foul out early, North Melbourne will have to scramble, and it really comes down to Ray Borner as the only big man left out there, or Dwayne Nelson, who spent a lot of time on the bench.
And it's also extended the time that Perth has to play without Ricky Grace.
That's right.
He went off with 4 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the final quarter. And they can't use him again now. And Cal Bruton would just love to, as they say a prayer together, knowing that the whole season rests on the next 5 minutes. Remembering that in the last 2 years, Perth has been put out of the competition at this very stage by North Melbourne. And they don't want it to happen again.
I think it'll be very important in the scheme of things that Ray Borner establishes a big presence. Perth is going with their big lineup in Pinder, Davis, Crawford, and the 2 guards close on, who has 4 fouls, and Mike Ellis, who will drive the ship.
And stand still, stand up.
Borner, Fisher, Martin Clark back in the lineup, but Crawford wins that tap down. Ellis is guarded by Clark. He spent a lot of time. He should be relatively fresh, although he did have an ankle injury. Might not be moving totally freely. Pinder down the baseline, cut off. Fisher rescues the ball, but I think it's knocked out by David Graham. So that was an opportunity that went wanting for North Melbourne. They did everything right, but couldn't secure possession of the ball.
Well, as Bill said before, the turnovers are going to be absolutely vital in the last 5 minutes. Mistakes will count for double here.
We're looking at Fisher matching up on Crawford. And he's going to want to deny him the ball as much as possible. That's Crawford with it here, close at the top, spins away from Martin Clark. Nearly a loose pass. Fisher on Crawford. Crawford dishes to Ellis, a 3-pointer. That misses. Pinder, big rebound inside. Good ball movement. Crawford with a 17-footer. Perth takes the lead, 104-102.
Well, what great play by Pinder there, with Ellis helping him out, and then finally Crawford. So
Pinder has done some awesome rebounding in this game.
He's been magnificent, no question about that. Clark, Borner, not quite close enough for him.
Needs some more ball movement from North Melbourne. Fisher inside, strong. Borner can't follow. And he goes to the ground, and I think Borner's hit his head.
It's an accident.
Remembering that Mark Leader went off late in the final quarter with a gash that required some stitches, and Borner going to ground here, but no blood this time.
Hard-headed Ray Borner. North Melbourne gets the ball back, 2 points in arrears, 4 minutes remaining to play in the game. So we've gone a minute. Ray Borner's got a good bruise on his cheek where he kissed the floor. Martin Clark, Hillman. Will he be the danger man? Cut off on the baseline. Borner a long way out. Not much man movement out there for North Melbourne. Borner again, needs more movement. Fisher inside, stops, props, down. Tie ball game.
Fisher to 30, 104, 104. 3.5 minutes to go. Pinder and Crawford combined.
Ray Borner got that foul. Again, the side opened up for Pinder.
Cross the arm.
You can see Pinder driving down to the basket. Ray Borner picking up his 4th foul.
Got 2 shots, 2.
On the ball there. There's the other one. On the elbow as Pinder left to shoot. Pinder with 2 shots. Buries the first one. Perth has shot well from the foul line when it's counted.
It's the 1 shot now.
27 points for Pinder in this game so far. He's got a great record in the playoffs over the years. So he's to 28, and again Perth a 2-point break. So it's almost catch up for North Melbourne here, and it's going to become more and more important as the clock ticks down.
Still plenty of time. Somehow 3 minutes in overtime seems left. Borner tries to get through, and he's fouled from the side. So he'll go to the line to shoot foul shots now. Fouls on Steve Davis. And that's his 5th foul. There's Borner coming by. Davis gets into the side of him. You can't see it from that angle, but hipped him. This will be a better angle. Davis coming into your screen now. You can see he gets into the side of Ray Borner as he squeezed between both Pinder and Davis. So Borner on the line shooting 2 foul shots, a chance to tie up the game. Trevor Torrance now will be the replacement for Steve Davis, who's fouled out. Davis with 9 points behind his name.
Okay, we got the substitution.
And Torrance, different sort of player, Steve Davis, much quicker up and down the floor. Perhaps not such a good just stand-up shooter, likes to shoot off movement. Borner now, these 2 foul shots are vital. He's hit the first one, 1 point the difference. Borner with 15. 106, 105, 106 apiece. Scores tied. 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go.
So Pinder brings it down with Crawford on his right. Torrance has come on. Close tries 3. Wouldn't quite go in.
Fisher's fouled on that rebound by Torrance. So David Close, that's a good shot for him. There's nothing wrong with David Close taking that shot. That's what he does. It wasn't that far off. But Scott Fisher so strong inside, made position, came down. You can see Torrance getting into the back of his hand. Walk the 94 feet and shoot one-on-ones. Fisher has a chance now to put North Melbourne back into the lead. There's the foul again from a different angle. Fisher used his legs to get that one in. Big dip, 31 points in the game.
1 to go.
Ricky Grace fouled out with 3 minutes remaining to play in regulation. We now have 3 minutes left in overtime.
So Fisher to 32. We had 35 in the game on Friday night. Close.
North Melbourne extending their defense, looking for that crucial turnover. Crawford inside, gets it, and ties it up again. Tough move, James Crawford. Hasn't had his best game, but he can still do it all.
108 apiece. Hillman gets inside, Bourne at the top of the key. We'll look for Graham, who's a good 3-point shooter when he's in form and confident. Bourne now into a good position. Fisher, I don't think expected it. Doesn't make the 2.
Fisher didn't expect it. It was a good layoff to Borner. So now Perth can take the lead. 1:08 apiece. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining to play in the first overtime. And that's a foul on Martin Clark. He objects, but gee whiz, you don't want to let him win it from the foul line. There's the reach in there. Not much contact, but it was enough to dispossess Ellis of the ball momentarily. So Ellis will go to the line with one-on-one.
And Bruce Palmer brings the 282-game veteran Wayne Carroll on for Marty Clark. Cool heads required here for both teams.
One-on-one, very important that Fisher and Gorner keep Crawford and Pinger off the boards. That one's down, needn't have worried about it. 22 points to Mike Ellis. Wildcats now leading by 109-108. Got it. 23, 2 points the difference. Hillman with the ball. He's guarded by Close. Man-to-man, straight up and down Perth. Fisher at the top. Crawford creeps out after him. David Hillman, two-pointer, but ties up the game.
1 minute 55 remaining. 1-1-0 apiece. Remembering it's a place in the grand final for the winner. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Torrance for two. A bonus there on the move, as Bill said, where he shoots at his best. So 1-1-2 to 1-1-0. And it's getting to the stage now, Bill, that if North can't keep replying, it's going to be very, very vital because the time is ticking away.
That's right, and they're going to the same targets. Can David Graham produce the miraculous shot? He doesn't. Perth will want to wind the clock down a little bit. They certainly can't go negative. 2 points the difference. North Melbourne doesn't want a foul. They want to make them earn their baskets. Ellis with the drive. Graham cuts him off. Good use of the ball, though. Using up the clock. There's a turnover. Fisher gets it. Flips it back. And, Hillman picks it away. And the bonus for Perth is, if they recovered, that they get a new 30-second clock with a minute left.
So if they can score 2 points or 3 points here, the champions will be looking down the barrel. 20 seconds left on the clock for Perth and 50 seconds remaining, and they lead by 2. They're in the driver's seat, no question.
Timeout called by the Perth Wildcats. They've got 13 seconds to shoot when they bring the ball in.
With 46 seconds remaining in the game, so just you take 46, 13 from 46, you know what you get. And they lead by 2 points, Perth, and they've really earned this.
I doubt if we'll be able to hear Cal Bruton here, but he'll be instructing his players, the shot that he wants to get from this. He'll be setting the positions that he wants them when the ball comes in. He'll be telling the play that he wants to run, and then he'll also be giving that further instruction. That is the defense they're going to be at the other end when they don't score. And what they do if they do score. Probably it won't change. I'd say he'd stay in a straight-up man-to-man matchup. He might be tempted if they score to push out the defense a little bit and delay North Melbourne's ability to get the ball to the court quickly.
Here's Bruce Palmer.
Take it at him, okay? I have one timeout left. All right?
Well, if Perth score here, if they make 2 points or 3, then North will rely on a turnover to win the match.
That's right. And they'll need a 3 somewhere along the line or a 3-point play. So this 13 seconds here is vital, and we only got 46 seconds remaining to play. But Perth has to get the shot up in 13 seconds.
Well, you couldn't have it tighter than this.
Ellis gets it. Clock now 10 seconds. Will they clear a side for Ellis? Looks to probe. Nothing inside. Ellis could have done it for them. Corner now with the big rebound. North Melbourne, I think, has another timeout. It'll be called here. So, Bruce Palmer with 28 seconds on the clock, 22 seconds on the game clock, 22 seconds on his shot clock. He now will get a chance to set his play. Pressure's a bit more difficult for him. When Perth had that opportunity to set their play, they also had a 2-point buffer.
So what does North do? They go for try a 3-pointer here to try and get a point lead with 6 seconds remaining?
I don't think you go for a three-pointer unless it's a wide open. You go for your best available shot. What you want to do is tie up the game. That's the number one thing. You don't want to risk losing it. Now, if they have a three-pointer, Hillman might line up and take it. Well, that's fair enough, but it should come through their normal offensive pattern. They certainly won't be setting up a play specifically to get a three-point shot. You want to score. There'll still be some time left in the game. Anything could happen. You still give yourself a chance to win if you tie it up. If you miss a three-pointer, you have no chance.
And do you use all of your 22 seconds? Remembering if you miss, you've only got 6 seconds remaining.
I think that what you want to do at this stage is run your offense and get your first opportunity. I don't think that you would go into a situation, particularly when you want to milk the clock. It's handy if they know they're going to score to get the clock down as much as possible. But in this situation, 2 points in arrears, they've got to when they get a good scoring opportunity, they must take it. And if that is a three-pointer, so be it. But as I said, I doubt very much that they'll set up to run specifically for a three-pointer. First task, of course, is to get the ball in, and there it is to David Graham. 20 seconds left on the shot clock, 24 seconds on the game clock. North Melbourne setting it up, spreading the court, trying to get some driving lanes for Hillman. Carroll, 10-second warning buzzer. They're leaving it awfully late. Hillman, fade away. Doesn't go. Pinder taps it out. Carroll gets it back. Loses it. Ellis can't quite stay down. Who's it off of? Comes off Pinder with 3.5 seconds remaining to play. Pinder pleads with Eddie Crouch. Give it back to us, Eddie. So this first shot in. Here it is. 2 seconds. David Graham forces one. That'll be it. Perth will go to the grand final. There's a foul called on Ray Borner. David Graham changed his mind in mid-flight, and the Perth Wildcats have qualified for the 1990 NBL Grand Final, and they'll meet the Brisbane Bullets in Game 1 in Perth next week.
Just like 1987. So it's Perth earning the right as Bruce Palmer walks off, and maybe Wayne Carroll for the last time at this level. And the champions have gone under. They've lost the chance to win their back-to-back championships as the men from the Wildcats celebrate. Pinder with 28, Ellis with 23, and Grace with 15. And for North, Fisher 32 and Hillman 25, but it wasn't enough. Perth win 112 to 110. They win the semi-final by 2 games to 1. And so the grand final is between the Bullets and the Wildcats on 7 Sport.
This has been... The previous program was on relay from the 7 Network for your viewing pleasure. It may have contained promotions, statements and competitions which may not reflect GWN's intentions.